In today's video, we're going to be going over SurgeX. This is a token that has launched recently on the Surge Swap. I'm here with one of their core team members known as Achilles, and I have a series of questions. I know a lot of people in the community would be curious to know if they were to participate in jumping in on this project. We have the website up, we have some socials. As usual, I'm going to have the links to this material down in the description below. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Everything I'm sharing is my own opinion. It's my own research. I highly encourage you guys to go do your own research. And with that being said, let's go ahead and turn it over to Achilles. Very nice to meet you, man. I had a chance to talk with you a little bit before we got started with this video. And I would love it if you could share with the audience a little bit more about who you are and what is your contribution to SurgeX.
Sure. Well, I mean, first off, thanks for having me, Crypto Atlas. I look typically at your channels. You do some great work. Well, I'm Achilles. I'm a mostly Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum, I guess you'd say, influencer and developer. I've been in the game for now about a year and a half, and SurgeX is my baby.
Awesome. Well, I have a list of questions already prepared, and let's go ahead and just dive into the first one. Can you tell us a little bit about SurgeX?
Sure. So SurgeX is the token, ideally on a utility provider on the new chain, which is SRG20 Surge.
Oh, well, that's a very quick answer. I was expecting more on that one.
I've got more details coming up.
Ah,
This is
okay, okay, I got you. Yeah, so we went over a little bit on the questions just so that we could be more prepared for this video. So thank you for that. The second question I have for you is, what was the inspiration to make this project?
And this is why I was a little bit quiet on the SurgeX side of things on the description.
Okay.
So my inspiration was the Surge team. These guys released SRG20 Surge, which is a layer 2 on top of BSC, and it is in my opinion, a very revolutionary chain, right? So first off, it changes the way that developers deploy tokens. It enables us to launch without an initial financial contribution for liquidity while still maintaining a set liquidity ratio and initial market cap. I've never seen that on any chain before or any layer 2. It is unruggable. So because there is no initial liquidity, there are no liquidity taxes being added to something that a developer can remove at a later date. And it has things like hard-coded taxes, inability to swap transactions, things that just sort of keep everyone safe. So I'm lucky enough to know the team fairly well. And once I found out they had launched this and that there was the ability to launch on it, I came out of my year and a half cave of launching coins and decided this was a chance to make something really cool.
And what are your long-term goals?
So long-term goals for the project. Let's set the scene on this a little bit. So most investors spend their day jumping between charting applications, launch pads, looking at buy bots, looking at biggest buy bots, working in miners. There's a million aspects to DeFi, right?
Mhm.
And all of those were slowly built up on your preferred chain of trading, whether it be Binance or Ethereum or AVAX or Phantom. They all have roughly the same utilities. So my goal is to be able to provide those utilities, or at least a decent chunk of them, on Surge. A nice example is, we currently have very rudimentary charting systems. The team is taking care of that, the Surge team, and they're doing a wonderful job. But that and a swap. And that's really all the utilities that Surge has built up right now. So I would like to be able to provide, I guess I'll give them to you in the order of them coming out in the roadmap, right? So our first goal is to provide staking. Staking for not just SurgeX, but also Surge. From a strategic standpoint, from my project, that gives us access to the whole Surge trading ecosystem right off the bat. Because coming to us, being able to stake Surge would at the very least show them our project and ideally get them some interest in it. Additionally, it makes my people some money too. And we're going to have, when they do stake SurgeX, I believe one of the highest APY pools that you can put into a pool, because all of our buybacks, and there are no team tokens, nothing along those lines, are all going to be going into the staking pool. So that's step one. The next thing we're doing, this one we're doing as quickly as we possibly can, because I have a friend who runs another project who has done a great job on his and already has everything developed, is just the ability to view how much your SurgeX is worth in Surge and then in the US dollar. It's something we take for granted. Anyone who trades on DexView or PooCoin can just log in, see exactly how much all their trades are worth and all of their coins in one area. We don't have that yet on Surge. So we're going to ideally provide, beginning with SurgeX, that, and then moving forward, the plan is to create an entire asset tracker. And the Crimson team, actually, if you know their Crimson security bot and all that, is helping us write that right now. Few more hurdles working on a chain that doesn't have liquidity or a router, but we're working through it. And then after that, there's one utility I'm not going to talk about publicly. I mentioned it very briefly in my discussion, but I won't tell you exactly which one because I really want to be the first one to do it. And I'm surprised that someone hasn't already done it on Surge. But the other one that I'll talk about is the biggest buy bot. We do not have the ability yet to track contests and things along those lines on Surge. And I think that would just be amazing. Let's see, what else? So it's important to understand the staking platform is not just for these two coins. Once those two pools are deployed, which are already in development and should be out probably by the time this video goes live tomorrow, any Surge project can come to us and purchase staking for their project. So that'll benefit SurgeX. All the fees will go directly into my project and hopefully give a little bit more visibility for Surge.
And you had told me before we went on to this recording that the website itself, this is early stage. You're going to have some updates. They're going to be coming to that. So can you highlight a little bit more what those updates we can expect?
Yes, I'm going to look at my notes just for a brief moment. Forgive me for breaking character. Okay, so current difficulties with the website include that the buy button's in a very odd place. You have to find the SurgeX contract to be able to buy if you do click on the buy button. And we have a spot for an audit that does not exist. Our KYC is not linked to it, and a few more socials could be updated. So the reason we haven't done any of this yet is staking is coming out just around the corner. So we would like to wait until staking's out and then just make that a tab on the V2 website. And that will include everything on there except for a white paper, which I will, I guess, explain my feelings on if you'd like me to.
Sure. Just real quick, I want to highlight that there are some features that do have functionality. For example, the socials, if you guys want to go join their Telegram, if you want to join their Twitter, which of these two, they put more priority focus in the Telegram. That's more where the community is going to be proactively engaging. And also, if you guys are trying to get the contract to go paste it in for the Surge swap, he had mentioned to me that you can get that from their Telegram if you want to get the information on some of the other materials we're going to be talking about here. Basically, anything that you say, hey, I want to get this resource material, your best bet is to go to their Telegram. So yeah, can you go ahead and highlight some more, Achilles?
Yeah, no, thank you for that. And yes, please join RTG. That's where you're going to get the most help on not just SurgeX, but Surge and all the aspects to both projects. So the reason I'm not putting a white paper on our website, I actually wrote one. I have a copy of a white paper, but like I'm an old mainnet guy, right? And a white paper traditionally is designed to take on the entire scope of technical solutions in a problem in a project and what that means to the market as well, right? So like when most coins that launch on a mainnet release a white paper that doesn't have massive utilities, play to earn, something like or along those lines, they're really just listing their taxes, their max supply, um, where the team came from, a brief write-up. It's very basic stuff, right? So to me, the most important thing we get on the website is actually the roadmap, and that will be on the V2 for sure.
And is your team doxed or KYC'd or both?
So I personally hold the contract and the private key to the contract and all that. So I am KYC'd through the Kiosk law firm, and all of that is available in my Telegram. If you go up and look through pins, you can see all the documents signed and legally all that fun stuff. The rest of my team, however, is not. Frank is a fairly public figure in the space. He runs the largest That's a influencer group on BSC and Ethereum called XDC. Dumbledore is my personal friend and business partner prior to crypto. And then we have Shrimp, who is another influencer in the space. However, I am fully doxed on my channel. If you were to go onto my channel and type in the word dox, you would actually see a copy of my driver's license at one point that I decided to put up there.
That's taking it to the extreme. Next
Would you
question.
real quick?
Why did you choose to launch on Surge Swap?
Hmm. So I
And don't
touched on
and
it
don't
briefly.
tell me, don't tell me it's just, well, they had the name Surge, we're named Surge, so I was like, all right. What's the real
No,
reason?
the real reason is so I used to be a developer when I started in crypto. That's how we got our start. I had some relatively successful projects back in the day, and then it got to the point, and I'm sure a lot of people that have launched projects can understand this, where every time you want to launch, you have a million people tracking all of your assets everywhere, looking to buy as much of the supply as fast as they can as soon as you deploy. And fighting botters can be exhausting. So when I saw that there was a new chain, I saw the chain had built-in safety right off the bat, right? The unwritability, the LP that we discussed, the hard-coded taxes, an ability to turn off transactions, and there were no botters yet. I decided, okay, this is my chance. On top of the fact that I really love the team. I think you had some aspect of them on the channel, or at least some discussion of Surge, and they're really doing something revolutionary. Like to be able to pair LP without a financial contribution is amazing. And then to be able to hard code in things like taxes, we just eliminated, I'd say, three of the four ways of scamming. So you can't farm on taxes because the contract won't allow you. You cannot honeypot because the contract won't allow you. You cannot rug because the entire chain is designed to not even have that be an option. I guess the only thing like a malevolent dev could do would be perhaps to keep the marketing wallet and not spend it on his community. But it's keeping the space safer. So it's definitely something I wanted to support.
And to clarify to everyone, I've mentioned this in my previous videos, but just in case you're watching up to this point and you're still wondering why I'm talking about Surge, this is not the same Surge as what SafeMoon Mark had made in the past. This is a different project, different token, different team. And so it's a different set of circumstances. I know some people have been kind of commenting and reaching out a little bit about that. It's a different set of everything. So just keep that in mind. Now, next question that I have for you guys, well, for you is,
Just me.
yeah, unless there's somebody that's going to pop out and start playing a violin like one of those trendy YouTube videos.
Right here. You can do
No,
it at any time.
no, we're just
Just wait
kidding,
for
guys.
it.
Yeah. Tell us more about your focus on privacy and security.
Okay, so the reason that's on my website and the reason I again support Surge so vehemently is that's what the entire chain is about. So if you look at Surge's socials and Surge's media, they're almost like a rage against the machine type of thing, right? And the reason being is they're up against these big guys like PancakeSwap and Uniswap. And not only do they not charge fees on their swap, but their entire chain is designed to be secure. So as I was just going over, right, we're removing 75%, probably more, honestly, of all the scams that are possible on a smart chain. So if you've ever been somebody who looks at like new deployments and goes into them, for the first time ever, you know you're not going to get rugged, regardless of if you're just aping a random coin and you're not really focused on security at that moment. Ideally, you're being safe and only investing what you can lose, but I know a lot of guys that have lost a lot of money doing that, right? And in this case, you can get the security of trading on a SEX, which requires like KYC, all those things, and not need to do that. The whole chain is backed up in that sense.
And how can people buy SurgeX if they're interested?
Okay, so please obtain our contract address that is found on my Telegram. It will be on the website. Probably, hopefully, by the time you see this video, but if not, you can always just join our Telegram and we'll provide it to you immediately. You take the contract address after purchasing Surge on SurgeSwap. You then paste the contract address in the section that has the Surge contract. You press approve, type in the amount of Surge that you'd like, and press buy. We have tutorial videos. I believe you also did one, Mr. Crypto Atlas. Uh, Everyone's trying to walk us through this process while it's still rudimentary. So it's a little bit easier to trade. But the biggest asset that I have to offer in that sense is my community. If you edit anyone on Twitter or come in the Telegram, they will walk you step by step on how to buy.
Yeah, and using the Surge swap itself is the easiest way. In my video tutorial, I do provide an alternative. And to clarify, this is on the Binance Smart Chain, correct?
Correct. So part of our roadmap going forward is once we have two or three of these utilities deployed, we'll launch everything on the ETH side as well. Because once the utilities are made, we can copy them on Ethereum much easier and then get our utilities out to that side of the project much faster.
Awesome. So your contract, I'll have it technically in my description down below, but for those of you that are watching, the safest, easiest thing to do is go directly to the source. So again, redirecting you guys to their Telegram. That is the easiest, safest way to go. But in the meantime, if you want to go ahead and use that, you can. I'll go ahead and include that in the description there, as well as the link to the Surge swap. And also I will also have the link to the video tutorial on how to do this. So that's all the questions that I had prepared for you. Is there anything else that comes to your mind that we didn't talk about that you would like to still talk about?
I guess maybe just reiterating something. To anyone who understands crypto or has been in crypto for a long time, right? Like layer twos have been around for a long time. You have like hyper sophisticated ones like Matic or Arbitrum on Ethereum, but I don't know of one on BSC. I also don't know of one or any chain that, in a way that's still convenient for developers, that you can actually work with the chain and grow with the chain, right? Also provide safety. So I know Surge is very early in their growth. I believe at the time of this, it's about a $1.4 million market cap. Small, right? But I see a huge amount of potential in this going forward. And to add to SurgeX's role in that, I see a huge amount of utility developments and things that we can accomplish in this space. We've been live for 4 days, and I'm trying to knock out every single utility I can at our own cost. The marketing wallet does not come up with that quickly, but it's great. We have a gold rush on a new chain, so I hope to see you guys there. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure chatting with you before and on camera, and yeah, hope we can do an update one day.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I would love to hear updates on what you guys have. Thank you so much for coming on as well. And also to have your webcam on. That way then people get to see a face behind the project. And again, anyone that's watching, if you want to get more information, there will be links to the material down in the description below. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I always highly encourage you guys to go do your own research. But this is a growing industry space, and there's lots of projects that are coming out and being innovative and different individuals involved, and having the opportunity to be able to share what these people are working on and doing on my channel. It's something that I actually enjoy a lot. So thank you again so much. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up like button. God bless, and we will see you in the next episode.
Thanks again.